I really think, as you've heard me say, foreign leaders, there's never been a good bet to bet against America.
Yeah.
I am giving you free advice that those of you who are holding dollars, you surely might go into losses.
For nearly 8 decades, the US dollar has dominated the world economy as a medium of trade, regarded as a stabilizing factor for exchange rates, investments, and commodities exchange. Before then, Britain, the small island nation off the coast of Europe and once the world's superpower, held the world's reserves for a whopping 105 years. It is 2023, and the world is experiencing a major shift as many countries, including those in Africa, are considering alternative currencies for international trade. Kenya recently announced a major shift to adopting the Kenya shillings for oil trade with the Gulf. So what exactly is pushing African nations away from the US dollar as their primary reserve? Let's find out. In the meantime, kindly subscribe and like. The US dollar has largely been the dominant currency for international trade since the Second World War, largely because of its stability and wide acceptability. But many countries in the global south are now slowly considering new currencies. Kenya's President Ruto announced recently that the country would reduce its over-reliance on the dollar to purchase petroleum products and instead use the shilling under a new credit system.
We have made innovative intentions and undertaken innovative strategy to ensure that we ease the burden of availability of dollar in our market.
Kenya has recently experienced turbulent economic times post-COVID-19 that witnessed the tumble of the Kenya shilling against the dollar, causing a major dollar shortage in the country amidst political tension. Kenya's decision to ditch the dollar in buying oil comes at a time when the BRICS nations have also announced a move to adopt a new currency for international trade. The BRICS is made up of 5 nations: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, with a combined population of more than 3.2 billion. It would appear the US dollar is facing imminent decline as African nations reject the dominance of the US dollar in the global market. China has largely pushed for this shift, with great support from other BRICS nations, especially Russia's Putin.
В открытую шла подготовка к очередной карательной операции на Донбассе.
Preparations were openly underway for another punitive operation in Donbass and an invasion of our historic lands, including Crimea. Kyiv has announced a possible acquisition of nuclear weapons. NATO began active military development of the territories adjacent to ours. This was an absolutely unacceptable threat, systematically created for us and right on our borders.
Before Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the Chinese yuan trading in Moscow was negligible. The war, largely viewed as a revolt against NATO's expansionist efforts in Europe, has further entrenched the yuan in the Russian market with a rise of 20% as the Chinese currency became the preferred medium for commodity trade with Russia.
When Russia trades with China, there's no reason why they must trade US dollars to exchange. None. I saw that even India is saying the same thing. So globally, there's a discussion that is taking place to say we must find alternative means of trading among ourselves and not subject ourselves to the situation where there's one currency in the world which becomes the global reserve currency, because it gives the country that is the issuer of the money, that's the United States, it gives it the power to impose its will on everybody because you are depending on the dollar.
But the biggest concern, perhaps, for the US would be Saudi, a long-time American ally in the Gulf. Should Saudi Arabia join the currency shift for oil trade, the dominance of the US dollar in the financial markets may be a thing of the past. Saudi Arabia is a dominant oil producer in the world. By selling its oil through an agreement with the US to primarily use the dollar ensured that America secured its place as the dominant currency in the financial markets. But this may soon change as China leads the charge by Africa and the BRICS in pushing for an inevitable new world order. Should the world ditch the US dollar for an alternative currency? Can the US dominance survive the impending shift in the world order? Please share your thoughts below. If you liked this content, kindly hit the like button and subscribe, as well as share with friends. Many thanks for your support and see you again. Peace.